Hello, everybody.
Hi, we're back. It's demo week.
Yes, very exciting. So, guys, demo week. Lots of exciting things happening. There is a lot of details that are kind of being, finalized. We had the meeting with Scott regarding the micro
Yeah, so
cementing.
Scott's from Creative Surface Finishes, and he is a brilliant guy that specializes in
Mm-hmm.
micro cementing. So we met with him, and we particularly decided on micro cement for
Absolutely.
the flooring because of the way everything in this house meets, all the finishes meet. So because the doors are floor to ceiling and the sliding doors meet exactly against the walls, everything is crisp and clean in terms of how each element finishes against each other, meant that it left very little room for us to play with in terms of adding a flooring layer, for example. So we had a very few millimeters to work with, and therefore it made no sense to do
Absolutely.
micro cementing. So yeah, so we meeting with Scott, and we also talking him through the fact that we are going with a very neutral and our favorite lime wash color,
Choose
bone.
bone.
Yeah,
Yeah. We've used it in, most of our projects, I'd say.
yeah. It's just one of those neutrals that allows everything to shine in the room. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like a soft, warm neutral, and it's not overbearing. It literally creates a feeling of zen. And so we wanted the floors to be color matched to that, so that it's just an entire space that's filled with texture, but without being overwhelming.
So our decorative team, Uptown Interiors, have been really busy this week. We've, kind of assessed with the client that we want to take all the slats out. All of these walls have white timber slats, and when we initially walked in with the client, that was literally the first thing we pointed out, and the client also pointed out that they didn't want this kind of look to be within the house. So Uptown Interior is quite busy today and pretty much this whole week taking the slats off of the first great room, then the lounge, and then the master bedroom
Yeah,
for phase one. And then obviously phase two is completely separate to phase one. But yeah, it's a bit challenging because it's really tricky. They have to pull out each slat one by one. So imagine, they're picking, um,
it's like pulling it out like
pulling,
teeth.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like really carefully pulling it away, because I think one of the key things was we didn't want there to be extensive damage behind the
Mm-hmm.
slats. So um, it turned out that some of them were a lot easier to pull off, and then some were, adhered
Bit
to
tricky.
quite securely, so that required a bit of elbow grease.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, overall, it's turning out to be not as extensive as initially thought, but we have to watch the space because I'm sure there's going to be some challenges down the line.
You know what?
Oh,
Already
this one.
looking at the walls as well that they've taken from the great room, the space looks completely different
Yeah,
to when it initially had the slat. So I think overall it's gonna make a huge impact once everything is done and lime
absolutely,
washed. So
absolutely.
yeah, wait and see how the results are gonna turn.
So the vision for the entire invisible house is kind of a very zen, warm, cozy, organic feel, as is consistent with all our designs. But for this particular room, it's quite long, but it's quite short in depth. So we need to make the bed area feel light and airy, but also dramatic and bold yet minimal. So we've got a custom bed being made in a poplar veneer with some stainless steel legs. We'll pop an image to show you the vision. And we've got this incredible pendant lights coming from Visual Comfort, plaster pendant lights, which are so delicate but robust and masculine at the same time. So it's just the perfect fit for this bedroom. And then we've got some other accent pieces like a sculptural armchair on the side of the room. We've got a wiggly stool that's going to be sat on that end of the room, alongside a custom sculptural built-in fireplace, which is going to be really nice and cozy in here. And then we have a small walk-in wardrobe in the side here, which will be opened up. So we plan to open this up so it's a little less compact. So we'll take the doors off and basically refresh the interior of it. So it's just like an everyday grab and go kind of walk-in wardrobe situation. Because one of the other pods is going to be converted into a full-on dressing suite, which is going to be amazing. Now I'll take you into the ensuite. So we've got these really big doors. You go inside, you'll notice that it is quite sterile, similar to like the interior of the rest of the house. What we have going on here is just a very functional layout, clinical functional layout, and we want to jazz it up completely by ensuring that it kind of gives more of a spa vibe. So we've got a whole spa situation set up where we've got a jacuzzi bath being installed with a full-on kind of walk-in shower with jets, etc. on this side of the room. And then on this end of the room, we've got a beautiful vanity going to be built, and that's going to be custom made, of course, towards the side of the room. So we've just separating or zoning the areas off, and then the toilet will be sat in this corner here along a sculptural curved wall. So right now we are in the lounge, or what is going to be the lounge. It's going to be a sort of cozy, comfortable media room of sorts, with a very cool sculptural curved media wall. Now, the curved media wall idea was initially suggested so that we could have use it as almost a surface area for a projector screen. We've since kind of revised that idea because our client would prefer to have an actual TV screen as opposed to a projector screen. So as a result, we are now on the hunt for a curved TV, which I recently found out it doesn't exist any longer. But they do make sort of these commercial panels which we can mold to the shape of the curved wall. So watch the space. Whether or not we're going to maintain our curved wall, we'll see, but we'll pop a picture of the render so you can see what I mean. And then we'll have a very large U or L-shaped sofa, nice for kind of lounging about in, super comfy, keeping it light and bright in here with lots of big, beautiful pieces of artwork. We're getting a number of artists on board that we've worked with in the past and some we haven't. So we're really excited for the curation of some really cool artists and artworks in the space. And this house is going to be packed full with quirky sculptures and ornaments and art pieces from all over the world. So yeah, really excited. We'll have like a really cool vintage armchair just sat across the window for lounging in. And again, just very lightweight, floaty curtains in this room. All the curtains throughout the house is going to be in the same weave, in the same fabric, in the same tone, the same as the ceiling and the walls and the floor, all going to be the same tone and finish so that everything else in the space can pop. We just want to create a really super zen environment for our client.
So guys, our first ever package delivery has arrived, and imagine, I almost had a heart attack. Literally, I'm not even joking. My heart stopped. The guy, very jolly, very happy. He comes out the van, and I'm waiting outside, really excited. And I was like, "Do you need a hand?" He was like, "No, it's okay." So he brings out a huge box, and it's the plaster pendant lights for the kitchen, and they're quite huge. So he picks it up, and he kindly puts on his shoulder, and he comes down, and he drops it on the floor. And that's when my heart literally just dropped. But anyway, we opened it immediately. We checked. Thankfully, there was nothing wrong with the lights being broken or damaged.
No, it's
But
perfect.
there was a huge huge issue
Yeah.
regarding the finish of the pendants.
Yep, so the pendants come into finishes. They come in a bronze, metal finish, or a like antique brass finish. All of the finishes that we'd selected, metal finishes, harbor finishes that we selected for this house, are either bronze or stainless steel or maybe polished chrome in certain places. But we wanted this particular pendant to have the bronze finish. We thought we ordered the bronze finish. Turns out it wasn't the bronze finish, it was actually the antique brass finish. On top of that, the company that we ordered the pendants from didn't have the bronze finish in stock. To kind of break it down in further detail, these pendants are actually manufactured in America. They are supplied across the UK. There's several retailers that stock this particular brand, but for some reason, this time of the year, no one had this pendant in this finish in stock. In fact, no one had this pendant. We were lucky to even get the pendant with the retailer. Oh, we did. And the reason why we went with the retailer and not the supplier themselves was basically down to time. We wanted them to be on site in time. So we were in the situation where we have the right pendants, we have them on time, first piece to the house, but they do not have the right finish. Stay tuned for how we kind of dealt with that situation. But let's just put it this way, there was a shipment of these pendants coming to the UK, but they were on the sea and they weren't going to get here in time.
And when we tell you guys, we literally looked the entire outer Europe.
Yes.
We looked in Italy, Paris, UK.
I mean, we also checked all of the showrooms for different stockists in the east coast of the US. We did find one or two stockists in the US, but then that required a rewiring. But I don't want to spoil it, so we just leave it there. I will watch the space so you can see how it all unfolds.
But yeah, basically, this was pretty much a whole week.
So the first week, that's how it kicked off. It was all go with demo and meetings, some additional meetings with trades and finalizing kind of finishes on certain things. So yeah, very exciting week, very crammed with action.
Absolutely, and bear in mind Christmas is around the corner. So
yeah. So yeah, looking forward to the next episode, which is going to be all about a whole host of different works, including spotlighting kind of the works in the master bathroom. I think the master ensuite was just a major exciting design element, but also a big challenge to get like absolutely accurate. So that was exciting, and we have other things that came up, including media wall construction, etc. So that was also something that we really enjoyed doing together with the team at Mitres.
Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you in the next episode.
Yeah, see you soon.